you have to be calm and collected, and you need to know, I'm just tired right now, I'm not in a good headspace, so I'm going to be more reactive, and those thoughts do not need to be acted upon.
Hey babes,
I'm Madeline.
and I'm Deja,
and welcome back to the Elegance Exchange. So today we are going to be talking about how not every, thought deserves a reaction.
This more like relates to like the more negative thoughts. You know how like sometimes you think something and it makes you really, really frustrated and upset, but sometimes it's best not to react and let it just
calm.
simmer down.
Absolutely. I think this can also apply to other people's thoughts about you, right? It's so normal for us to hear other people's thoughts because sometimes they don't know how to not speak those thoughts out loud. And then we get really insecure and we worry about what they're saying or thinking about us. So, this episode's going to kind of take a deep dive into how you can, take the difference between, okay, what's a thought that I should take action on and what's a thought that I should leave at rest.
And like how you should react to it, like whether or not, maybe it's best to just cool off or actually, approach it and be like, okay, we need to get this figured out.
Yeah. So we know how hard it is, right? So you have so many thoughts going through your brain every single day, right? We have millions and millions of thoughts. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in our negative thoughts and to think about every little thing that we need to change about ourselves, that we need to improve, that we need to take action upon.
Yeah.
And you just have to find that fine line of like, okay, this is something that I don't think I need to do. So a lot of the times we get super tired and we get super grumpy when we're tired. And what do we start doing? We start talking negative, not only about ourselves, but other people.
About the things around you. If anything, I can relate to that. What was it? 2 days ago, I had a terrible day at work. Like, when everything could go wrong, like, it went possibly wrong. And it was like, it can't get any worse, and then it would continuously get worse. And, it gets to a point where, like, you can only stay calm so much, and then, like, your thoughts start, like... Yeah, like, it just starts to, like, bubble. You can, like, feel your thoughts getting to you. It was at that moment where it's like, okay, I have to take a deep breath, and we just calm down, just back up, and let myself clear before I... And, like, the last thing you want is to, like, lash out on someone else,
Absolutely. So that's an example of a thought that you don't need to take out on other people. So say Deja was like, oh my gosh, I hate this coworker of mine. Not saying that that's what she was thinking. But say, she was thinking that, or she was thinking about how she hated the situation that she was currently in. That doesn't mean that you need to automatically go up to your coworker that maybe you're having issues with and lash out at them. That doesn't mean that you need to slam down whatever you're doing and just leave work. You have to be calm and collected, and you need to know, I'm just tired right now, I'm not in a good headspace, so I'm going to be more reactive, and those thoughts do not need to be acted upon. It goes for if, what people think about you. Honestly, other people's opinions of you don't truthfully matter. So many people think that we're crazy because we've started a podcast, but we didn't let those thoughts get a reaction out of us. We have never once gone up to somebody who said that and been mean and, like,
you're miserable.
Why do you think that it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. You have had people and maybe even friends in your life that think that they know you, and maybe you guys go through a friendship breakup or something like that, and it's been years, and yet they still think that you're the same exact person. It doesn't matter. You don't need to give them a reaction. The more you react, the worse it's going to become. Truthfully, there's nothing funnier, but nothing worse than when you see a couple break up and then they just start airing it out on social media. You see the reactions and then it just gets blown out of proportion. Everybody starts adding in their input. It just makes everything worse. You don't need to give that a reaction.
No, and honestly, with some people, like, they want to get a reaction of you. Like, that's their goal. That's their whole goal. It's the same people that try and, like, make you mad on purpose because they know at some point you're gonna snap and you're gonna lash out, and then they can be like, oh, well, she's actually not as good as she is. Like, she seems to be. It's best not to give them the satisfaction of them getting a reaction out of you. And most reactions, they're like on the spot, like they're kind of just instant, and you're kind of not in the right headspace.
You're not thinking about it.
Have a reaction like that, so it's always best to just like you know,
count
really.
To 5.
Yeah, count to 5. Really think about it. Like, is it worth, you know, is this worth having a reaction, or is it, you know, best not to? Because most of the time, I promise you, it's just best to just step away and just let them, you know, do it. Because at the end of the day, you know, it looks, you know, the way they reacted, people are going to see the differences.
A lot of, you know, I've dealt with a lot of people that are very reactionary. If you get in a fight with them, all of a sudden it's a huge, big, blown up reaction. They talk about you to everybody, things like that. They just blow everything out of proportion. And honestly, you just have to let them. Sometimes it can feel like you're not taking action. Sometimes it can feel like you're just letting them do whatever they want. But honestly, not giving them a reaction is the best thing you can possibly do, because they want that reaction. They want to spin it so that you can look like the bad guy.
If anything, I also had an experience with that too. It's like, you know when they want to get a reaction out of you. My friend mentioned to me, she was like, calm down. You do have the upper hand, because you're choosing not to let, you know, them get a reaction out of you. And if anything, that says more about yourself than it does the person, you know, trying to stir stuff up.
Absolutely. Truthfully, their thoughts of you have no weight, no justice in your life. It doesn't matter. They're probably not going to be in your life in 5 or 6 years. So don't let them bother you. It simply does not matter. And you need to know your thoughts about yourself and how you see yourself, and you need to push the positive thoughts that you have about yourself to the front and push the ones that are bad to the back.
And your reaction, honestly, I feel like that's kind of what, you know, I look at the most in an argument or in a situation. It's like, how did you react, you know?
Who's the crazy reaction?
Exactly. Like, how did you choose to react, and what did you do? Because most of the time, the reaction's kind of like my giveaway, like, you know,
like,
how you think, how you react.
Yeah. Absolutely. You just need to be cool, calm, and collected, and hold yourself accountable, but also hold them accountable. Truthfully, all you can do is just stay calm, and you ultimately will be proud of yourself, because you won't take actions out on other people, and they won't, you know, you won't have a reaction to them. So, you know, like we said, if you have that work buddy or just somebody in your life that constantly feels like they torment you, you don't like them, you're tired, you're angry, don't take it out on them.
Or if you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, and you're constantly like, you know, I'm going to lash out if I, you know, don't go home. Don't be that person. With that being said, it is a fairly shorter episode.
Yes, so we are on a bunch of different social media platforms.
We're on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
And we love seeing any of your comments, and truthfully, it just lets us get to know you, and we love to see it. So definitely leave us a comment about an episode topic that you want to see that maybe we haven't done, or we can always suggest an episode that we have done for you. So yeah, all right, with that being said, I think we all know what we always say. We love you. Bye, babes.